The glowing mote of light blinks more brightly with your approach. As you reach to touch it, it inscribes strange glyphs into the air, some unknown language. Embrace the light? The light begins to surge, growing brighter and brighter, and a moment later, it blinks a light by your side. Bounty.
So, I threw them into the sea and said, that, maybe this is the one, Nib.
Then the poor soul is a needless. You know as well as I that they are unable to speak or to bind.
But they've bound a new quill. Arthur knows they don't like those needless very much, so something has to be going on.
That makes no sense. These stories have been fading long before more quills started showing up. Best leave the needless to fall right back into the sea where they came.
Aww. Why don't we at least let them choose their aspect and forms first? It'd be a shame to not even see what they choose to be. Needless! Looks like you're not dead yet, so that's a good sign. And the form you chose is wonderful!
Yes, you've bound a quill. Quite unusual. It seems the ink has plans for you.
Oh, yes it does! You've already performed bindings and everything. Quite the spectacle it was.
Yes. A needless and a binder. Well, the Guardian ahead will not be as kind. Should you defeat it, perhaps you and your quill truly are fated for something grander than the sea.
Or not!
Well, it seems you're a binder of some strength, though you will continue to find these anomalies spread throughout our worlds.
They're taking all the ink away from us, making our stories fade away. Bad little Unraveled. Bad.
For now, though, it's time you leave this place and venture to the Athenium, the center and stronghold for all these worlds.
They don't like us much in there, so best if we say our goodbyes for now. But don't you worry, we'll see you soon.
The ink is not yet finished with you, Needless. Your form is young and still without purpose, but trust in your quill and you...
You appear inside a cavernous hall, hacked from the countless black depths. Damp breezes moan to life and stir the pages strewn about the rubble. Your quill urges you deeper into the cavernous space.
Arthur be damned, another one. All you needless just traipse in here, still damp from the sea from which you crawled. I thought that surely the Inkbound had created you with more sense than that. Yet you all continue to surprise me. Well, you're in the Athenium now, Needless. And no binder worth their words is going to give you unfettered access to our stories without a proper proving. A short dive into the inkwell should give us a good idea of you. And at the very least, knock a little sense into that empty head. Try not to drown too quickly.
The promenade sits empty as it has for ages, the last remnants of the silent city.
A new Needless, eh? Well, welcome. Been told not to say much to you, Needless. Better go talk to the gatekeeper over there.
Are you not dry? If you're to be counted amongst our ranks, at least wipe your feet. Arthur be damned. This Athenian will drown in the filth you track in well before the sea takes us. Be grateful the Inkbound places more faith in you than do I. Since you've decided to return, you'll find a few more of us that remain here. The unraveled left us thin in numbers. We scattered after, but many have begun to return. You were made to serve, Needless. So, meet the other binders of the Athenium and help them in whatever meager ways you can. Hurry, then.
The source of the ticking. A giant wheel of books and gears which all paths lead.
Don't you touch that bindery, Needless, or your next dive into the inkwell will be your last. If even one book shifts out of place, the worlds to which you travel might collapse entirely.
Not a heart, then. A brain.
Well, hello. I'm the counselor. Used to be a lot more of us. Counselor. Well, just me now, make the rules around here. More like laws, I guess. It's a bit complicated. Mostly it just means that I record things that people do. Other people. Which reminds me, I've got a list of specific things I need done on the board behind me. Changes day to day. But if you're free and you don't mind, any help you give would be, helpful.
Well, it's nice to be back again so fast. Even if the place is a wreck. But the sight of all you Needless buzzing around does give me a bit of hope. Surprised to hear we aren't as gruff as Grumpy Beard, huh? Well, sometimes a little youth goes a long way. You can call me the Stigmatist, craftswoman of forms and aspects. If you're looking to mix up your aspect, I'm your gal. Though it looks like you've got a solid one already. But if you ever do want to switch it up, go ahead and use that aspect apparatus over there. Got a couple other aspects for you to try out if you're feeling up to it.
You hear passing pages and manic mutters behind the door. Candlelight flickers at the bottom of the doorframe. You knock on the door and immediately the muttering stops. Then, shadows shuffle across the flickering light before it goes dark. As you turn to leave, you hear a rustling on the floor. A note with nothing but a list of tasks, none of them small.
Ignored by the Inkbound? Well, that's no real surprise. Your presence is at least known now. But that does not mean that there is any more hope for the left. I can tell by your vacant expression that you've no clue who this Inkbound is. Only our chosen hero, our fearless leader, and most trusted protector, our savior. While you and your quill gallivant through the worlds to achieve some temporary victory, the Inkbound toils away at a more permanent solution to these unraveled and fading stories. Regrettably, there is still work to be done, thus your creation. The Garden's edge currently fades fastest. Your attention should be focused there to reclaim its ink for us.
The shelves are lined with books of all sizes and materials. Gilded leather tomes stamped with dry facts of history, but all of them share the same sickness. Their pages are fading, the words within them becoming shadows of a memory of a story.
Hi. Birdie says I shouldn't talk to strangers.
You peer down the well, but only find an open darkness swallowed by an endless deep. If you strain to listen, you believe you can hear the faint rumble of rushing liquid. Underneath the brush, you can make out the remnants of a once well-manicured garden that's been lost to time and neglect. The overgrown forest that towers over you now retains some of that stillness, but none of the peace, only danger and hostility.
Nice job with those unraveled so far. But you ain't lived until you fought a raven as big as a house. Though you probably have a lot more holes in you once you do, huh? Welly well, you're a shiny new needless, aren't you? Got a quill and everything. Bet you got quillins to spare too, huh? Well, be buying or be moving. This place ain't kind to idlers.
Hello there, Needless. Aren't there stories for you to save or something?
I'm sorry. There I was, going on. Well, your form aspect. I know it's a bit hard to understand just by talking about it. So go ahead and take a peek at that aspect apparatus and reform enclosure over there. Lots of potential, right? Lots of power too, in the right hands. Well, that attitude sure is a good start, but you'll be needing to prove it to more than just me. Go on, see if you can wrangle those missing aspects from the others.
The garden's edge is just slightly less in peril now.
Disconnected.
Well, go on then, Needless. The Spooler requested your help. Perhaps that bumbling clown will show you more of the gratitude you seem to be missing.